Okay, everyone, we're looking at your 2017 N Levels question 4F. Okay, so this essay is actually done quite well. I just want to point out some things that you all need to take note of. Okay, so firstly, the question asks about destruction of homes. That means people's homes, where they live. Okay, now what happened is that many of you know that, hey, I need to use this destruction of properties and infrastructure. But you need to realize that the question didn't ask about infrastructure or generic buildings. They asked about homes. Okay, so things about infrastructure like bridges, you should not mention in this answer. Which is why I asked some of you, when you put bridges in, you mean the homes are built on bridges? Okay, so remove the part about infrastructure. Okay, next, many of you left out the part about homelessness. Now, why is that important? Because this can help you suggest that this is a long-term effect. When people lose the office building, well, they can just go home, no big deal, and rest, or even work from home. But if they lose their homes, okay, and usually it takes a few years to rebuild the homes, then what happens is that the government must make sure that they provide temporary shelter for them. Okay, and they will not be able to live well until their homes are rebuilt. Okay, so there's a reason why they drew into homes only, so that you know, they want to see whether you're able to pick out the things that's not relevant and also highlight the parts that will help you way better. Okay, explanation wise, not a problem. Many of you managed to show that it is serious, okay, by showing that there's a lot of deaths and injuries, and many of you managed to bring up the examples. Okay, but just want to point out a few things. Number one, okay, landslides, it is not a few rocks roll down. Okay, landslide is the whole slope is gone, it collapsed. Okay, so let me show you an example of a picture of a landslide. Okay, so the more common one is like Cameron Highlands. Okay, you see that this is a few houses here. Okay, and the whole slope collapsed and buried a few villages here as well. Right, this is another example. Okay, see the villages here being buried. Okay, here's another one. The whole slope collapsed. So I don't want to see answers where, soil roll down the hill or huge rock roll down the hill. This is about the whole slope, this massive amount of soil that can collapse and bury the whole village. Look at this. One whole row of houses are being buried. Okay, so need to take note of that. Now, with regard to weighing, okay, for this case, right, as long as you bring in landslides, it's a good chance that landslide is more important, because landslide will destroy all these things and also destroy homes. So in terms of scale of impact, landslides will be the one that has a bigger, a more serious impact. Okay, because it not just destroys homes, it destroys other buildings, other infrastructure, and makes it difficult for rescuers to reach the people to save them as well. Okay, if you bring in services that's being destroyed, not a big deal actually. This is actually very short term, because usually this can be restored very quickly through temporary means, or can be repaired very fast. Okay, but as advised, most of the time when they ask about consequences of earthquake or impacts of earthquake, bring in tsunami, because that is the only impact that can help you show that it goes beyond just the earthquake area. So you can easily argue that this is the most serious one because it affects a much larger scale. Okay, so if you talk about impacts to bring in tsunami, that will help you answer the question quite easily.